You and I with Rashmi Shetty is a simple attempt of bringing in stories of people you and I can draw inspiration from. Ordinary folks, extraordinary lives. Their uniqueness and individuality that make them interesting to talk to and to listen to. A reaffirmation of the fact, open your eyes wider, the world is far more beautiful when we acknowledge the presence of both you and I. June is celebrated as Pride Month by the LGBTQIA+ community. On the last Friday of June, I have a special guest to celebrate and educate us, to talk about the myths, the issues, and the stigma surrounding the community. Siddhanth Kodlekere, who goes by the name Lady Bai, is an IT guy by day and a drag queen by night. Leading two different lives is his specialty. He is a cis-gendered pansexual man who is a media graduate and has worked in IT companies for as long as he can remember. A kind soul with a bright smile and a head full of colored hair is how he loves himself. Listen in as we discuss the need for Pride Month, mythology, and Siddhanth's life lessons. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersexual, and asexual plus. The Pride Month is currently celebrated each year in the month of June to honor the 1969 Stonewall Uprising in Manhattan. And the Stonewall Uprising was a tipping point for the gay liberation movement in the United States. The first Pride March in New York City was held on June 28, 1970. Marking the first anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising. The Indian Psychiatric Society had in 2018 categorically stated that homosexuality is not a disease and must not be regarded as such. Why am I telling you all this? Well, we are in the Pride Month, and with us to bust some myths and make us understand what exactly is this community all about, and why do we even need a Pride Month to understand what is so normal and nature's gift? We have with us Siddhanth Kodlekere. Sid for short, an amazing human being. Thank you, Sid, for coming on You and I with Rashmi Shetty.
Thank you so much for getting me here, dragging me here, to be very frank. And yeah, let's hope we have a superb and how did they put it in that Dance India, fantabulously fantastic conversation.
I'm so happy you're here with us. And Sid, like most in our society, I too have very limited knowledge and therefore thought that asking you some very basic questions around what exactly does this community ask us, because when I saw so many TED Talks, everything ended with just understand and support us. You don't need to do anything for us, but don't ostracize or look at us as abnormal. So can you take us on your journey and however far back you can go into your childhood as to where exactly it all began and who is the Siddharth that we see today with us and how did the evolution happen?
Okay, let me be a little, how do they call it, fancy, and then start off with this statement. Thank you, Rashmi, for that wonderful question that you asked. Kidding, I'm a very chilled out person. I'm going to be like cracking puns and be super normal and casual. I'm absolutely not a serious person at all. Do not take me for that. That is the current Sid that you are seeing right now or you're listening to right now. But then I don't know when I realized I was gay, but gay or whatever I realized back then. My childhood was pretty okayish. It wasn't that traumatic for me as such, or neither was it a very happy-go-lucky kind of thing as well. I was a very shy person back then. God knows how, but yeah, I was very shy back then. And yeah, my best friends were my books, and my favorite teacher was my English teacher, as is it with most of the people from the LGBT community. We latch on to that one English teacher who gives us support and who is like, oh, you can be whatever you want to, because it's okay, not a problem. So I was that one cliched kid back then. And yeah, so it comes with that particular thing. I was a very feminine kid. I still am a little right now, but I have a wonderful beard, so I grow that up in order to mask my entire femininity. Yeah, so I was a feminine kid, and teasing comes with the territory, so you are going to get teased, doesn't matter what. And it was a very different time back then. I won't say it was like the worst time ever. There were a couple of people who were like, it's okay to be like this, but there were a lot of people who were not okay with a guy being feminine as such, and that included my parents, my relatives, everyone. So they always used to ask me that why are you doing what you do, like why are you so womanly? And I never realized that it was an insult to me back then, because my dad never used to spend so much time at home, so I was close to my mom, and I knew that she was a very hardworking person. And I also related a lot to all the the Kamali Bais and all who used to come home. So I used to chat with them, and I realized that I'm like, women are amazing. Like, what is wrong with people who say that, oh no, women is the weaker sex kind of thing? No, they are not. Just shut up. Okay. So I grew up with a lot of a strong-willed community of women, and I did not have like a very manly influence in my childhood at all. And some people say that if you don't have a manly influence in your childhood, that's when you turn gay. I'm like, no, you turn gay because you like men, and that's got nothing to do with that. If you don't have a strong manly influence, and if you're surrounded by women, you should be attracted to them as well, right? If you're not, chill. It's okay, completely fine. So yeah, I grew up with a lot of women like that, and I never understood why was being feminine treated as an insult. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm feminine. Yeah, so what? I don't get it. It's after like coming to college and all these things, I realized what it actually meant. Okay, why were people like, oh, you are gay, you are a chakka, or you are like a hijra or something like that. Oh, the way you walk is so feminine. Like, okay, now I realize why what people were doing is basically making fun of me, and they were and indirectly they were making fun of women as well. And I never realized that till a very late age. Maybe if I had done that before, I would have been a completely different person. But college is basically when my entire transformation started. So I started hanging out with more people in order to blend in. I was like, oh, so I don't want to be insulted so much. I want to be a part of this entire community of my peers. And I also need a lot of friends, because books are not going to support me forever. And I can't talk to books. So that was another thing for me. Yeah, so that's how slowly I started making friends. I started becoming social, and then I shifted cities completely. I shifted states, and I came to Karnataka, all the way from Pune to Karnataka, where and I started in a tiny village called as Ujire, where LGBT community might not be known to a lot of people. And I was there in my flashy city clothes. I think I had 6 ear piercing in one ear, or lip piercing on one side, and all these things. And they were like, who the heck is this kid and why is he like this? And I had to like be like, listen, I have ear piercings, but that is not like the reason why I was selected over here in this college. I was selected because I'm a brilliant student, and let's just focus on that. And after that as well, people are like, oh, you walk like a girl. Oh no, you see, you're carrying your camera bag like a purse. Why is that? Why you do this? Why do you do that? I'm like, it's none of your business. Because I got that confidence at that particular time, all because I was, a city boy in a village. I had that power. I was that flashy kid who everybody looked up to. They're like, oh, Siddhanth speaks English. Oh, Siddhanth is so confident. Oh, Siddhanth wears jeans to college. Oh, Siddhanth has fashionable clothes. I'm like, that basically gave me confidence in order to accept me for who I am. Because I was absolutely confidence-less before, if that is a word. I don't know. So it was... Yeah, that's a better word actually. So that all that confidence came in me, and I'm like, listen, I can do anything in life. If people are there to support me and idolize me for something that I do, I can be whoever I want to. And that's exactly what I did. So, and then I came to Bangalore. I joined Christ, and then till then I was like, oh no, still like being feminine is still okay, but I'm still going to dress like a man. Okay, because that's the societal norms. And that's what the college is supposed to be, being feminine. And if you want to wear a little feminine clothes and all, do it at your home. You don't have to do it in public. And then I saw this one person, I completely forgot the person's name. They were wearing literally an anarkali in college with boy cut and all these things, and just walking around in heels. And I was like, if that person can do it, so can I. And this is not a big deal. I befriended them, and then I started talking to them, and it was a very nice interaction, because I was like, I'm finally meeting a person who is absolutely not afraid to showcase themselves for who they are. And I came out to my entire class. How do I say that? It was like what was the mannequin challenge kind of thing. So that's what we did. So everybody was you were supposed to drag people from. We had like a drama class going on, and then I dragged people from our class, my friends and all, and you have to make them pose in a way, and then you have that one final frame which is taken the picture of. And that's how I showed, like two men standing and then people ridiculing, two people supporting them and two people ridiculing them. And that's how I came out to my entire class. And there was no stopping me after that. For the second, this wasn't the first, the second year, I literally went to the college cultural day in a kurta, pajama and hot pink 7-inch heels. And I was the star of the show. I loved the attention so much. I'm like, okay, this is what I want my entire life. I want people to pay attention to me like this. And well, after that, one thing led to other. I started doing drag, and then I met a lot of drag queens whom I'm really close to these days, because they are like the family that I got to choose for myself. They were not the family that was given to me, and this is the family which I chose. These are the people who support me left, right, center, through thick and thin and everything. And well, I am here today doing this call on the Pride Month.
Siddhanth, when you're saying this, my question that kept coming back was that this journey from the family you were blessed with to the family that has accepted you completely, how did the family that you were born in take you? Was it very simple for them, easy for them to accept you the way you are? Because the family that you choose to be part of has anyway taken you for who you are. But what about the family that you were born in? Was it easy for them?
Oh, so my parents. Oh, that's a wonderful question. I came out to my dad once, and his response was so. I'm sorry, Dad, if you're going to listen to this, but his response was so stupid and so funny. I had to laugh at it. So I told Dad that no, I don't have feelings for girls anymore. I think I like men. I am gay. And I sent it to him in an email. Okay, because I did not have the guts back then, because he was sponsoring my college and I was in a hostel. I did not want to go through that entire fight when I did not have access to a phone. Like, listen, and there was no WhatsApp and all back then at that time. So only thing I had was an email. So I sent him an email. Dad's reply was, listen, you are a Brahmin kid. You cannot be gay. And that's it. And he's written in the end, thanks and regards. I'm like, what is thanks and regards in this? I don't know. Like, are you thanking me for being a Brahmin, or are you thanking me for understanding that Brahmins can't be? I did not get it. I just laughed and I just shut that thing down. Then later, I think 2 years ago, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, something like that. At the Pride Month itself, so I worked the RAM for Times of India Fashion Week, Bangalore Times Fashion Week, or something like that. And I was a showstopper for one of the segments. And my photo was there on the front page of Bangalore Times. And that's not the only thing. So that entire month, Times of India published a couple of people all over India saying that these are the people who have a life, who are living like a dual life kind of thing. Because I was working in the IT and I was performing as a drag queen as well. So they took my interview, they had a big photo of mine and the entire back page covered with 3 people on it, and that went to my dad. And my dad is like, why is our son in the newspaper? My mom is like, what? And they read that entire thing, and dad is like, why is he saying all these things? And my mom called up. She's like, oh my God, you're in the newspaper. I'm like, how did you know? Because I frankly thought it was just going to be Bangalore. It was published across India. Okay, and then my mom is like, okay, so you are really gay. I'm like, yeah, I've been telling you this for like years on right now. And she's like, oh, okay, but then please don't tell us that you're going to change your gender and all these things. And that's when I realized my parents did not know what it means. My parents thought being gay basically means being a trans person. I'm like, it's completely different. I am not going to have, a surgery done on me. Like, I'm going to have plastic surgery done on me. That's different. But I'm not going to have any other surgery, being done on me. Not now, not later. Okay, so let me just sit and explain it to you. They did not want an explanation. I'm like, cool, fine, I'll give you your space. But a couple of months after that, my mom was here in Bangalore, and I started packing my bags for my drag performance and all these things. My mom is like, you know what, actually that blouse won't go with that sari, and first of all, you don't look good with a skirt that is that short. Okay, wear something a little decent, like an inch longer, please. Okay, your legs are seen too much. I'm like, since when do you give me fashion advice? And she's like, listen, I'm your mother. Okay, I know better than you. And then after that, we had this amazing bond, me and my mother, where she asks me about my performance. She says, so how was the performance? And the performances usually end by like, say, 12:31. And I come home by 2. After packing, removing makeup and all this, I come home by 2. My mom's first question isn't, why did you come home late? My mom's first question is always going to be, how was the performance? Did you enjoy it? And that's the change which I wanted to see, and it happened, at least from my mom's side. My dad is there. He is neither accepting it nor rejecting it, because he knows that I am not doing any harm to anybody. I'm still a wonderful human being. Thank you for bragging about myself. Thanks. Good job, Sid. But he knows that I'm not a bad human being at all. And me being gay or pansexual or whatever it is not going to hurt him or anybody in any way. So he's kind of like on the fence kind of thing right now, and it's completely fine with me because we have both given each other that space. Like, see, as long as you don't, try and run my life, I won't try and bother you with mine at all. It's an understanding that we have with each other.
Sid, you just spoke about drag performance, and you said your mother was waiting for you, not to ask why are you late, but how did it go? What exactly are drag queens about, and what is this drag performance about?
So, drag, contrary to the common beliefs, is an art form, and also I will make this very clear to everyone who's listening in. Drag is not a complete Western concept. It was there in India as well. It is a part of all of our traditions. It is absolutely not a Western concept. I mean, what we do right now is a little Western, but that's because everybody is turning to the West. But drag is, basically dressing up as the opposite gender in a very exaggerated format. So if I'm a man, right? I'm a cis-gendered man. So I will dress up as a woman. So I usually remove my beard, and then I will glue down my eyebrows, draw new ones over it, apply like 4 layers of foundation, lipstick, eyeshadow, wear a wig, tape everything back correctly, fix things, and then literally have to wear 6-7 stockings in order to get that womanly figure, wear a corset. It's a lot of work in order to look and perform like a woman. Drag is a performance art, and it's got nothing to do with your sexuality. You can be straight, you can be heterosexual, you can be homosexual, you can be trans, you can be anything you want to be. Okay, and you can still do drag.
So is there a training that you undergo in order to get to know the nuances of this performance, or it is just innately who you are as an artist that comes out?
There's no training as such, because it's not like that there's a training school for drag queens or something like that. We usually learn either from YouTube or ask someone or something like that. So what I learned was from my other drag queen and my fellow drag sisters, and I spend a lot of time on YouTube and practice how to do your eyeshadow correctly, and then you start hunting for clothes, because getting a woman's clothes on a man's body is really tough, because we have super broad shoulders, and it doesn't fit in after a point, because the clothes made for girls are super skinny, and I'm no, that extra small size I don't think is going to fit one arm of mine. Sorry, but yeah. So it is something which you practice, and over the time you become good at it. And there's no training process as such. It's about your dedication to it and how you want to go about it. That's all.
Okay. And as far as you are concerned, Sid, you said that you were very effeminate right from the beginning, and people around you made fun. Were there moments when you were wondering, why am I different? Am I different? Just because, like you said, women don't have broad shoulders. Well, there are exceptions like me, where people with really broad shoulders. Same way, there are guys who are very effeminate with the way they talk, the way they move their hands. When did you start realizing that you are not like the rest?
I never realized, when I whether I was feminine or whatever it is. But then during starting from my childhood itself, I was always interested in wearing girly clothes or makeup or something like that. I used to go and hunt my mom's purse and all these things for lipsticks, and I'm like, oh mom, look here, I'm wearing the perfect lipstick right now, don't I look pretty? I used to get scolded a lot for that, but the most interesting part is I used to get scolded because a man shouldn't be wearing a woman's things. My parents never scolded me for being feminine as such. My parents never took that away from me. My parents said, you're feminine, not a problem, okay, continue. Because they always made me realize that somewhere my worth was more than my physical appearance. And that's how I always felt as well, because I was always immersed in books. And the only time I used to go out is when my parents used to force me to go out. They are like, no, go out, play with your friends and then come back and all this. And that's the only time I used to get teased as such, or when I was in school. And that's a very short period of time in order for it to hit you, right? Because I never spent so much time with a lot of, childhood friends as such. So I was, and even if I did, it was mostly with girls. So they never used to tease me so much, because I used to give them fantastic advices what they should do. So I was the queen amongst them back then.
Okay, were you curious to go back? Because India, even if you go mythologically and you go to our epics, there are so many references to Prahanalla, to Shikhandi, or to the Mohini avatar of Vishnu, the Ardhanarishwara. There are so many different aspects about sexuality which are there as part of Indian mythology and in the epics as well. So did you go in and read about them? Because you said you read quite a bit and books were your company. Were you curious to know a little on that? And did that kind of give you any idea of how our culture, if you go to Kama Sutra, even there they say there are so many things which are written about transgender. So did you do any kind of research that way to tell that this is not a Western concept? This is culturally something that India had accepted long ago and knew it was part of nature's endowment.
I did not do this research when I was a kid. Because
not as a kid, as you grew older. Obviously not as a kid.
Because if I had done this research as a kid, I would have had my PhD by now. Not even kidding. I would have been Dr. Siddhanth by now.
You can still be Siddhanth.
PhD is going to take a couple of more years for me, but I'm just saying, if I had that amount of a research quality in me, I would have done it long ago. I would have been a prodigy research assistant or something like that to someone. But yeah, no, I did a lot of research. I wouldn't call it research as such, because I did not go into it in order to prove someone wrong. I dwelled into that entire thing because I wanted to know more about it for myself. That's all. Because the moment you take it as a research, okay, you keep and store data in your mind in order to reply to someone, or in order to prove someone wrong, or in order to fight in an argument. And that's exactly the opposite of what I wanted to do. I wanted to understand what is it in our culture or in our tradition that was there before, and I wanted to just imbibe that in myself. That's all. I never did read about all these things in order to be like, oh, okay, so you know what, this happened in Indian culture, this was there in Indian culture. Yeah, I can give out that data right now, but I choose not, because I'm like, if anybody is coming to me with an argument saying that this is not a part of our culture, I'm like, you don't know culture. Sorry. And engaging with somebody who is, blatantly talking crap is not my style of working. My style of working is always going to be like this. If you are a mature human being who can have a one-on-one conversation with you without it turning into a fight, and an open exchange of information and knowledge, good. I will tell you whatever I have read till now, and I will listen to all your points against, whatever my beliefs. I will listen to it. I might accept a few of them as well. But my research was completely done in order to understand more about the community, where it started and how acceptance was there back then, and try and use some of those methodologies, or how do I say it, try and use some of those practices which were back then and modify it a little to use in the current times. for example, I still, when my parents or somebody make a very sexist or transphobic comments like that, I sometimes point them out, saying that, listen, Dad, so this is what used to happen in history. And then I don't tell it to him in such a way that he realizes what he said was wrong. I don't tell it to him directly. I make him realize it honestly. So I tell him that you know what, this I read this a nice piece of history, and this is what used to happen in mythology, and this is what it was, and this is how transgenders were represented back then. Isn't that fantastic? And my dad will automatically be like, oh yeah, right, you're right. Actually, yeah. So if I'm saying all these things, does it mean I'm calling the gods all the bad words? Like, maybe not. It's okay, doesn't matter. God will forgive you, right? He said, I hope so. And then he calms down automatically. So I use that same technique. I just use the information which I have, modify it, or like make sure that it's said in such a way that it impresses people and not makes them feel angry. That's what my research is for.
Okay. And what has been the most interesting part of this research that you have done for you when you were reading it? Were there moments or any particular aspect or a fact that threw you out of gear, as in, oh my God, I didn't even realize
that Arjuna did drag before it was cool.
That he chose to be the dance teacher?
Yeah, so my entire thing was Arjuna. Like, if I could turn back time, I just have one question for him. I'm like, listen, sweetie, where did you get that wig? I want a wig maker who can make such a beautiful wig and which stays on your head for like years and years, which does not fall off. Like, how did you apply makeup? What was the foundation that you used? Like, come on, tell me these secrets right now. That was the most interesting part for me, because I always thought that, oh no, so what he was doing was, in order to protect himself, was to make sure that nobody knows who he was, and there's another part of it saying that he was cursed in order to live a woman's life. Yeah. So but I never thought of it when I started reading up on it, and that was after I started like knowing about drag. And then I read this and I'm like, shut up! Arjuna did drag way before it was cool. Not fair. Why does nobody talk about this? This is so cool. He actually. And then I start imagining things. I'm like, how embarrassing would it be? Like, he's going to somebody and he's like, hey, can I borrow your sari for this one particular performance? Hey, listen, can you like literally come and like wax my legs a little here and there? I'm like, dude, this is so crazy right now.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, actually, I didn't think of it that way, but it's true.
I go on a completely different tangent once I get information. I overthink about Arjuna in drag. It's fun to think about such things. And at least as far as I have known about this, men were not allowed to shave like completely. They're at least supposed to keep their mustache and all these things. Who shaved Arjuna's mustache? And what reason was he giving in order to get his mustache shaved?
Yeah. And
did he have to shave every day so that his beard doesn't grow back? Oh, so much trouble he did for 1 year. Damn.
True. Very, very true. Yeah. Interesting. Actually, if you start thinking on those lines, that's a very nice thought process. And thank you. Maybe the next time I'm going to give this assignment to college kids, I'm going to ask them to think this way as well.
It's fun. It's absolutely fun. Putting, mythology into current scenarios and just analyzing it. That's like one of my favorite pastimes that I do when I'm jobless.
No, and it's so ironic that it's part of a 5,000-year-old mythology. And the Indian society is not able to accept this. Where do you think the gap came in? In the name of culture, many people deny the right place of just being part of society to this entire community that they have to stand up now and say, we are just like you, we are just normal, we need support. Who you think brought in the gap? How did the gap arise when it was so much integrated? for such a long time into our culture?
See, I won't say one particular person or somebody somewhere brought about this gap as such. What I would say is people started, nitpicking things which were good for them. Okay, like they will take this culture and they will be like, oh, so these are certain things which suit my needs right now, and I'll just take them into consideration. Rest of the things are bad. Rest of the things I'll ignore for now. And that is something which I think brings about the gap, because I have seen a lot of people who argue like, oh, so this is not a part of our culture, and a man and a man shouldn't be together. Yeah. I'm like, divorce is not a part of our culture. You are a divorce lawyer, right? Why? Why are you a divorce lawyer? It's not a part of our culture. Why do you take that one significant part and then ignore it, and the rest of the things you're like, oh no, I have to stand up to this particular thing? Why is that? Why do you have to make sure that you segregate the culture into different things? Pick things which work according to your beliefs, your ideologies, and make sure that you live comfortably. Because your nitpicking is going to hurt a lot of other people. And if everybody started doing that, then the entire meaning of culture and tradition goes down the drain. Because it's not culture or tradition anymore. It's just a part of culture. If you are imbibing something into yourself, take that entire thing and then do it. Like when you're learning the alphabet, you will learn only till maybe N or W. No, you will learn everything, right? Because even if you don't use the word, even if you don't use W every single day, it will come to you someday or the other. So why do you have to, if you're taking this particular thing entirely and imbibing it in yourself, why not take culture completely and put it? Or even better than that, why not actually go ahead and read for God's sake? Go ahead and read. But again, according to most of the people, what they say, and I kind of agree to this as well, before the British invaded India, it was more of a very cohesive society. And then they brought in their rules, because homosexuality, Christianity, and all these things, they tried imposing that. And I don't know, a lot of people have this saying. I'm sorry for saying this, but most of the boomers have this saying. Okay, so when you talk a lot of English or when you use jargons, boomers have this saying that Angrez chale gaye par aulad chhod ke. You are sticking to Angrez standards. What about that? Why are you sticking? Why are you wearing jeans? Why are you wearing a shirt? Shirt was not there in our tradition. Okay, rishis and Pandavas and Kauravas, everybody used to walk bare-chested, walk like that, right? Or better, learn archery. Our culture never said that you have to go and become, a lawyer. Lawyer was not there back then. Lawyer was not a profession maybe back then. Who knows? It might have been. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, there are a lot of things. Mechanical engineer was not a named profession back then. Why do you want to do that? Right? If you're sticking to something, stick to it completely. Or if you are going to point out the negatives in me, according to you, I'll also do the same thing. Tit for tat. I will point out the negatives from culture, because I have bloody went ahead and read it. So I can point out things better than you. So do not come to me and say that, oh no, you're becoming very Western in nature. This is all a Western concept. I mean, your hatred of homosexuality is a Western concept in itself as well. And if you are ready to ignore that, I am ready to ignore you. As simple as that. Because there is no place in my life for ignorance anymore. It's 2021. You have to be updated. You cannot blame it on the fact that, oh no, I'm old, I'm set in my ways right now, I can't change this. You learned how to use an iPhone in 3 days. Right? Were you born with an iPhone in your hand? No, right? How did you learn iPhone in 3 days, but you cannot, understand this entire fact that your son loves another man. How difficult is this? You've grown up with the idea of what love means, what affection means. But you're ready to ignore your 60, 70 years, whatever it is, 60 years of learning about love and say that this is not natural. But you think holding an iPhone and FaceTiming somebody is natural. How? I ask these simple, stupid questions and they don't have an answer to it. And then I feel like I've won the argument and then I walk away in style. Like the James Bond style where there's something blasting off in the background. And then,
cool men do not look big.
I know that it feels good. So whenever I turn around, I imagine like my hair flipping back.
Talking about hair. Oh my God. How long did it take you to bleach it that golden? Because for the first part, I thought maybe it's the lights behind you. But then I noticed that there's just this nice patch which is bleached and golden. So does it remain golden always or does the color change with your hair?
So it is like kind of yellowish golden right now because it's fading. So otherwise my hair is usually silver or any color in the bloody rainbow. I experiment. I have no job in life. I sit at home. Lockdown has made me crazy. I sit at home, apply color, go into meetings, finish meeting, go wash up my hair, come sit for another meeting. Okay, and people are like, hey, you had a different hair color this morning. I'm like, yeah, I changed it. But this entire bleaching takes about a week to do so because I don't want to damage my hair completely, so I do it in steps. So I will bleach about for like maybe an hour or two today, then I'll take like a 3-day gap, apply a hair mask, a conditioner and everything, make sure my hair is not fragile anymore, then take a 2-day gap again and then again apply bleach so that it comes to white. So once your hair goes to white, complete white thing, then you can apply whatever color you want.
That's a lot of time and care, yeah? Oh my God, Sid.
It's a lot of sitting with bad smell on your head as well. Because bleach doesn't smell good.
Good, yeah.
After a point, I smell as if I'm living in a swimming pool.
But why do you do it then? Just because you find happiness in it?
No, because I never felt comfortable. So that's one of the reasons why I do it is I don't feel comfortable with my brown hair anymore. It doesn't feel like me.
Okay.
So the moment I actually colored my hair brown a year ago, something like that, like I think last August, 2020 August or something. I colored my hair brown because let me go back to normal. I could stick with it for I think 3 weeks and then I again bleached it back to silver. Because whenever I looked in the mirror, I'm like, this is not the Siddhanth I know. This is not the Sid that is so, uber confident and outgoing and all these things. If I see myself with brown hair, I immediately go back into my, earlier days. I'm like, no, this is that shy Siddhanth who didn't used to talk to people, who wasn't sure about what he was, what he wanted to do with his life. But when I do this, I'm like, so this is what I want to do. So what I'm on the inside, I want to show it on the outside. And there are a lot of people who ask me, why do you color your hair? You look good with brown hair as such. I'm like, I will quote RuPaul at that point and say that, if you ain't paying my bills, it ain't none of your business.
Exactly.
Simple as. But as RuPaul says it's something like this. If they ain't paying your bills, pay them bitches no mind. I can't say this to my relatives. Like, someday they are going to write me in their will, so I don't want to.
Hope so.
So I don't want to piss them off. I make it in a very nice thing. I'm like, are you paying for this? No. Did you come and bleach my hair? No. Did you spend this time sitting with me, supporting me while my hair burnt on itself? No. Right? Are you paying for the house where I'm bleaching my hair? No. It's none of your business, really.
Okay. So now, after the decriminalization of Section 377, do you feel people around you are far more easy on you and Are you finding yourself a lot comfortable? Because like you said, 377 is part of what the British left behind as well, along with the Aulad of Angrezi, the language. And while they have moved ahead, we haven't. So that's why when the Supreme Court ruling came in, it was celebrated. So have you noticed an awareness increase or people's acceptance far more easy, or is it just the same?
I wouldn't say acceptance has increased a lot. It has definitely increased. It's not negligible as such, but it's definitely in a positive state right now. Awareness is a lot. So that's something I would say. And this is something which I read recently as well, which makes a lot of sense with the question that you asked. A lot of people ask me, okay, a lot of older people ask me or tell me, they're like, this never used to happen in our generation, okay, this new generation is bringing all these problems. And I read this recently. It's not like the new generation is bringing these problems. These problems existed in your generation as well. It's just that people were so scared of dying, being ostracized, of being casted in the negative light of having HIV and AIDS in that entire plague scenario. And basically they went into the closet, they got married, and now they can't come out because they have their own life set. So do not give me this entire argument that it is a new generation problem. It's not. You are the old generation's problem. Okay, and you do not have any place in our freedom right now, in our statement right now, because you are not going to continue your life for the next 50-70 years. We are. So do not come in the middle. Do not butt in, with your old age opinions in our matters and in matters of our living and how to live right now. That is my first and foremost thing to everybody. And to answer your question specifically, I have seen a lot of awareness happening because a lot of people are speaking about it openly. So whether it's positive or not, people are speaking. And awareness can be positive or negative. As in my opinion, it can be. It's like publicity, right? You have negative publicity, you have positive publicity. And ultimately, it's publicity as such. You are going to get noticed after a point. So the same thing. So the entire LGBT community is getting noticed. Whether it be for positive or negative is up to the person. And acceptance, I still would say that it's not as much as we hoped it would be, but it's a process. You cannot expect an entire country which is run on. I'm sorry, I'm going a little political, but pride is political. That's the first thing that will come to anybody's mind. Pride was never a celebration first. Okay, pride, the first thing about pride is it's political. It's always going to play with your idea of who should live and what is basic human rights. It is political. So, acceptance is a process in a country where people still believe that achhe din aayenge. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm not saying that what the government is doing is bad or good or whatever it is. But the point is that if people can believe for more than 6 years right now that something good is going to happen, if you can keep hopes in that and nothing can come out of it, I don't expect people to change a mentality which they had, which has been there for almost 70 years right now. 70 years. I don't accept the people. I don't expect people to go ahead and change immediately. It's okay. Maybe like in the next 5 years or something, maybe the acceptance rate will go way far. But at least the younger generation is making a little more effort. The younger generation is like, listen, we accept you. Okay, we are there for you, and we will make sure that you feel good about yourself. Doesn't matter what you are, who you are, where you come from, what's your caste, nothing matters to us. All that matters to us is you're a good human being. And that's it. But again, there are people in the younger generation who are like, hey, listen, my parents taught me this is abnormal and I'm going to follow my parents. I'm like, oh God. You can't say no to people as well, because it's their set of beliefs. You have to let people be who they are, and that's completely fine.
Yeah, true. And that's a lot of food for thought. As we leave, Siddhanth, normally I ask my guests for 3 learnings from life that they've had. You're not like somebody who's 50 and seen a lot of life, but still, if you have 3 life lessons, whether it's because of the pandemic or just looking back however far you can, the 3 life lessons that you'd like to leave us with.
Oh my God, this is a lot of pressure. I don't know my own life. I don't know lessons which I learned in college. Okay, you're asking me for life lessons.
That's why I'm asking you about lessons from life.
So I don't have a lot of lessons in life, but this is something which I personally follow, and this is something which I've personally told a lot of people right now. And that's what people know me for in the first place. So wherever I meet, they know that whenever I come, this is what is going to happen. So my entire point of view on life is that be kind to everyone. You never know what they're going through. And that is like the biggest life lesson I will ever have. Doesn't matter whether they have done something wrong to you in the past, whether they are going to do something wrong, whether you know them, don't know them, doesn't matter. Be kind, because it doesn't hurt you to be kind. As simple as that. There are people who will take advantage of you. Just like take revenge later, but be kind. Kindly take revenge on them. That's the okay. Wait, I have one more like this, but it's a little shallow of me to say it out loud.
Yeah, please go ahead. If it's your life lesson, please go ahead, share it.
Okay, so start using anti-aging creams a little early in your life so that you don't get wrinkles later. I know, because I'm like, listen, I am 28 and I might have to get Botox in the next 3 years, and that is not a good thing. So start caring for your face, your health, body and mind. And I would say this, but for me, it's my face. I'm like, I don't want wrinkles when I turn 30 to 33. That's going to look so. No, I don't want.
You won't. Don't worry. As long as you're smiling and laughing and happy, the wrinkles don't appear very early.
I smile and laugh a lot, and that's why I have wrinkles.
Those wrinkles are the best wrinkles on your face.
No. I'm just saying. I that's what I said. That's the only surgery I'm going to get done is plastic surgery. Because I have that fantasy. I'm like, oh my God, I want a little lip job, a little nose job. I would get an appointment from the doctor. I will not go there because I'm very scared. But I have this bucket list of mine. That's all.
Okay. And any other, in the process, the life lesson that I take is take care of all your body, mind, and your spirits in order to make sure that you find out who you are. And the third life lesson, anything else that you have been living with or you have followed and that has helped you all along?
So this is a life lesson which I actually borrowed from one of my favorite TV series, Modern Family. So there's this person called as Mitchell in that, Mitchell Pritchett. So he says something, because he is the gay character in that. So he says something and that hit me very hard, and it was a very beautiful lesson for me. So this is something his father told him when he was young. So it is that I might not understand it, I might not get it, but if that's who you are, never be ashamed. Simple as that. If that's who you are, never be ashamed. That's it. even if people get it or don't get it, because you are living your life for yourself. I colored my hair because I want to look good when I look in the mirror. I did not do this because people are going to look at me for like what? Maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. I am going to be living with me. And if I don't think of myself as the most gorgeous human being on earth, when I look in the mirror, what am I doing? So, if you're living your life the way you want to, as long as it's not illegal, never be ashamed of who you are. That's a good life lesson that I have. And that came from a bloody TV series.
That's okay, yeah. Because the one who scripted it also is a human being, right?
Yeah.
Somebody who's lived life and seen it. But it's so powerful. Never be ashamed of who you are. Wonderful line to end the talk. And thank you so much, Sid, for your time, for being so kind to explain the very basic questions that I asked you and sharing a piece of your life with us today. Thank you so much. Stay blessed and continue to inspire.
Thank you so much, Rashmi. It was wonderful talking to you. And I wish I could say something to you in Tulu, but I literally don't know any more words. Teach me someday, okay?
Mallaji Siddhanth. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With that, we come to the end of this weekly quest of You and I with Rashmi Shetty. Do let us know if you know people who make the world beautiful. Write in to rashmi.thethirdeye@gmail.com. That is rashmi.thethirdeye@gmail.com. Come, let's explore this amazing world together, both you and I.